And I got to start the recording. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And start the slideshow. All right. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 12 p.m. R9 Tech Bits mini series. Today, we're going to be talking about Google Forms. I'm going to break down, we're going to go through themes once again in a little bit more depth. We're also going to be talking about how to visualize or look at summary responses versus individual responses, as well as kind of jazz up our questions by learning how to insert videos and pictures, images. So I'm really excited about today. So what are some outcomes that we look for in the mini series is to become more and more familiar with Google Suites and other technology resources. Identify ways to utilize those tools in your work or classroom. Make sure that we can successfully set up those tools and have a little time to practice and play together. So again, this is a really relaxed, comfortable environment. And so this is an opportunity for us to ask any questions that we may have. It's a small group, so we can ask any questions and just engage and participate. So what are some tech norms? Participate. You can always choose to pass. Be an active listener, open and honest. Don't be afraid to take those risks. This is the time to do it. And always try to find connection and ideas among each other, respect and appreciate each other, and just support in general each other. All right, so each of these PowerPoint videos with the Bitmojis, I provide tutorial videos that I've researched while I've been investigating this lesson for today. So here we have how to customize Google Forms with a theme, 3 ways of adding pictures into Google Forms, and how to view your responses in Google Forms. So those are some 3 videos that I found that I thought were pretty good. Our practice and play session, I did copy and paste this link into the chat box. So make sure that you can try to get in there. If you can't, let me know. And then, of course, at the end of each of these PowerPoints, I provide my contact information, and I'm always here to support you in any way that we can. All right. So make it out of here. Oops. There we go. And so let's look over the notes. Like I said before, today we're doing customizing fonts and themes in Forms, adding images to jazz up your questions, and how to view your summary responses, your responses in individual versus summary responses, okay? Which are very helpful to understand that when you're trying to look at your data that you've collected. So let's go ahead and jump right in there. I did have somebody that I'm just going to show you really quickly how to open a form, a new form to get started using Google Suites. Just for those that have never used Forms before. So the easiest way that I know how to do it is to access my Drive, which a lot of times you can do that through your email, okay? And you go to your Rubik's Cube and you select Drive. When your Drive is open, on the left-hand side, you're gonna see New. And when you click on the New button, it's gonna give you a drop-down menu, and you should see Google Forms in that list. If you do not, then go ahead and click on More, and it's going to give you more applications to choose from. But in this case, mine shows up. So I'm going to click Google Forms, and right away, it's going to open a new, fresh Google form for us to start with. Now, the very first thing that we do, guys, when we start anything is when we start a new form, new doc, anything in Google, what is the number one thing? Okay, I hear you, Dolores, but I can't hear you.
I said make a copy.
Make a copy. Okay. So if it's a shared one, yeah. If I need to make my own copy, that's good. The other thing is, go ahead.
Untitled.
Yeah, rename it. Because if you don't rename it, it gets lost in the untitled form universe. And then it's very difficult to find. So always make sure that you stay organized and rename it. So the way that you rename it is simply at the top. And most of the time, it's going to grab whatever you title it up at the top here. If you want to change that, you always have that opportunity to do so and change your title form and so on and so forth. So let me jump to our practice and play session. All right. Have any of you opened up that link that I had in the chat box for the form? Or tried to?
I have.
Okay. And did you have to make a copy or are you able to collaborate? I just need some feedback on that.
I'm able to just open it up.
Just open it up. Okay. All right. I'm not sure how April Lindsay is a part of our domain, so she may have an easier time. So if you're not able to access it, maybe make a copy for yourself so you can practice and play as we're going through today's lesson if you want. That would be my suggestion. All right, 2 messages. Name the file. Thank you, Teresa. You are correct. Okay, so the very first thing we want to do is rename the title. And again, add any description of instructions that you're going to help your audience with. So depending on what this form is trying to accomplish is what we want to state in the instruction piece. So today, I gotta move this out of the way. I apologize. So today we want to talk about themes. So after last week's lesson, how do I revise my themes in my forms? Where do I go? Anybody? Okay, where we want to go is customize themes, which is this little palette. Oops, I'm getting some chats, but I can't see them. Thank you. And that's going to open up a new menu for us, a themes option menu on the right-hand side. And this is where we're going to add all of our fun, creative themes to engage our audience. So as you notice, I have a Lucky Charms theme that I've created or banner that I've created, and I have ready to go. And I've already preloaded it, but I'm going to go ahead and X that out and show you how to get to that. So when you get here, it's going to have a choose image. So what I want to do is choose image. I can choose it from Google Themes. So I can quickly add one of these themes and insert them if I would like. And it does it fairly quickly, which is nice. Okay. Oops, I have chats going on, but I can't see them. Or maybe that's my email. That's an email, sorry. I hear it going off in my headset, so I think it's a chat. All right, so to choose an image, basically you select that. What I want to do, since I created a banner and it's on my hard drive, is upload that photo from my actual computer drive. So I'm going to browse. And if you notice, it loads up all the things that I've downloaded and I find it right there. Now you can access your downloads, your documents, your desktop. But in this case, I'm already in my downloads. I see my banner right there and I'm going to click on it and it's going to insert it. It's what I want. And I click done and it's going to populate. The nice thing about Google is it's a little bit smart. So if you notice, I changed the theme image and it automatically changed the theme color. And it kind of gives you some colors to choose from. So I may want to go a little darker. I can also customize my colors if I have the RGB number, which I use all the time when I'm doing my marketing materials. I can also add that in, the hex color, just simply by adding in a new color there. Or I can slide this bar around to pick different colors, okay? And it'll add a custom color. But in this case, I think Google's pretty smart about that. So this theme color changes the top banners or the top little header line. And then this background color is what you can select to give you different variations of a background color on the page. I think I kind of like this one. So I'm going with that. Now, the other nice thing about Google themes or Google form themes is I can also adjust my font in a second. So just depending on what your audience is and what you're trying to accomplish, I can do formal, basic, all right? In this case, I kept it on playful, which is kind of like Comic Sans in Word. So, or Cosmic Sans, I don't know. Anyways, that one of the font color or font type. So that's those 3 areas that I can adjust in my themes, which make it really easy and engage your audience with. All right, so any questions so far about themes? Nope. All right, so the way that we got there was to customize theme with the little artist palette looking icon at the top. So the next item is how do we jazz up our questions with some fun images for our audience or our classroom students. So in this case, I added a few questions in our previously created form to engage what question you would like to edit or add to. You simply go to that block and click on it, and it opens up some new tools for you to have access to. So in this case, what is your favorite food? What I would like to do, what I think is kind of neat is instead of asking the questions or giving a typed out like response like hamburger, okay, I would like to find a picture of a hamburger to put in there. So to do that, if you look over to the right, you'll see an image icon for that answer. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on it. Now, in this case, I can download those images, pre-download them to my computer, and upload them and browse them, okay, which it'll take me to my computer. Or the other way that I like to, I can also use my camera. If I'm eating that for lunch, I can take a picture of it and load it right then and there. And then I can also do a Google image search. Let's see what pulls up here. All right, so I'm getting some really good pictures here. So I'm just gonna go with this one. Ooh, what if I put green chili hamburger? Is ham? Oh yeah, there we go. Got to keep it New Mexican, right? Oops, I don't want to do that. So as you can, oh, undo. Sorry, little click hippie, you guys. Did not mean to, I must have a slight delay. I apologize. So at this point, I've added an image to entice my audience just a little bit more for that question. What other foods do we like, everyone? Let's add a couple more images in here. Suggestion. Tacos. You can also just double click on that and it should load it in. There it goes. And then I can add a third one. So that just makes it a little bit more visually stimulating for your audience for those questions. And I like to do that, you know, kind of you look at it and you go with your first impulse, which is nice. What other foods are there? Pasta. Why not, right? Okay, so we've added that in, and I'm going to go ahead and make this a required question. So now my audience has to answer this in order to move throughout the form. Okay, now to get an idea of what is happening on the form that we're editing at this point, what you want to do, like, it's not going to, if you want to see what it looks like for the end user, what you want to do is you want to go to this preview little eye icon at the top right and click on that. It's going to open up in a tab for what the form would look like for the end user that is viewing the form. So let's see what our question turned out to be. How about that? Now, if you look, I didn't fill out option 3 or others, or I have an other choice. So I want to make sure that we go back and edit that. So but going to that preview button, and in order to get rid of this option 3, I just simply click on the remove X icon and it removes. And then I've left an other option in case your audience wants to type in a response. Any questions so far? The other thing is I can make it a multiple choice. Now, when I make it a multiple choice, all right, I can only, my end user can only select one answer. If I make it checkboxes, they can select multiple answers, correct, right? I can see Dolores shaking her head. I can also change it to a drop down. I wonder what it would look like as a drop down in my end user. Let's check that out. So I went back up to the eyeball icon. Okay, choose your favorite food. Now, at this point, what happened to my images? I've lost them. So just keep that in mind that on drop downs, it's mostly, it's not going to show your images. So that's not really what we want to do here. We want to keep it probably a multiple choice or checkbox. All right, I'm going to let people choose multiples. Okay. So any questions about how to insert an image to enhance your question, to jazz up your questions a little bit? Any questions about the question? I'm cracking myself
April,
up.
can you enter links, like hyperlinks into these?
So what would you usually walk me through that?
Like, say you're asking, are you familiar with the NMAC rules and regulations?
Oh, and then you
If
want
you
to
wanted to
add,
enter the link for them to refer to,
can you
to
chat me that?
see, like,
Okay, let's do that really quickly. What if I just did the actual link? I just need a link to something. Let me say, I'll just link to Canva. Copy this link. I'm copying a URL from another tab. I gotta move my icons out of the way, sorry. Going back to our practice and play session, sorry. So what I'm thinking you would do is paste, oops. Paste the link there. Let's see if it stays a link though, okay? So let me go to my view or preview mode. Oh gosh, whew, I do have a delay today, I apologize. And there it is, and it is a link. And so when I click on it, I'm being redirected. Is that kind of what you're thinking?
no, so I saw a form not too long ago that I had to fill out.
Okay.
And it had a question like that, like, what food is your favorite?
Mm-hmm.
And then it had like the options and then a link at the bottom to like choose from, to like go to the website and choose from.
When you say link at the bottom of the question or this part right here, this field, the answer field.
It was in the answer field.
It was in the answer field. And so basically they had a question in that answer field.
Yeah.
But it was formatted differently than familiar. God, I can't type today. I can't
I
spell.
I thought it was an add-on and I went and looked in all the add-ons and I couldn't find it.
What kind of add-on how did you search it?
Just adding links to forms or hyperlinks or.
Okay. To questions and forms. Well, we can, let me poke around on that. That's a really great idea. I love that. I've never personally tried it. Yeah, and I wonder if I can create a space like command enter. No.
Yeah, I don't want to take up all your time. I was just wondering if you'd ever done that before.
No,
That's
I really
something I needed to
haven't,
do
but
a
it's a
couple
really
times.
great idea. Add title and description, import questions. I can add a question. I'm just looking through my icons one more time to see if I can add anything. It probably is a add-on, but I'd have to research that. But great, but you can add a link there, and you possibly could do a hyperlink. I'd have to play with it though a little bit, Hannah. But that was great, a great information. Hey, did I lose my pictures after I changed it to my drop down, you guys? That's not cool. Ooh, so maybe really know what wait, let's go back. Go back. Yeah, I did. So once I changed it to a drop down, the type of question, it removed my images. So I had to pull that back in. So just FYI on that. Not very cool. I don't like that feature. I've lost my images, so I have to re-add them back in. Boo, 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 boo. But it's good to know. So really think about what structure or type of structure you want on your question before you start adding your images. Okay, so the next image I'd like to kind of go over or how to add is how would we add a video to a question? How do you think we do that? So what I want to do is I've created a question on here. Watch it. That my instructions are watch the video and provide a brief summary of what you've learned. And I've already selected my type. I want my students to be able to answer in a paragraph form. And then, which gives them quite a bit of characters to choose from. And then the next thing you want to do is look to your right navigation toolbar that kind of follows you along your form and click on add video. Now, again, there's several ways to add videos. I clicked on add YouTube video because I just access YouTube. Now, every school district is different, so keep in mind about your firewalls and what you have access to. So you may want to play with this before you dive in to see if you even are able to access those videos. So if I have the URL, I can copy and paste it here, or I can also search YouTube. Why are teachers amazing? And it's going to pull up a list of videos that you can then look at or add. I'm going to say 10 reasons why teachers are awesome and select that one. Now, again, when I'm here in my edit mode, I can't view this video. So in order to see it on the end users, from the end user's perspective, I go up to my icon again to preview. I open up a new tab, and then I can see how it's going to load for my audience and, play from there. Now, if you noticed, excuse me, my questions here, and then the video kind of posts below. So I may want to add a little bit more description for my audience, like watch the video below. You know, in my instructions, just to provide them with more information. So that is how you add images to your questions and adding a video question as well. Any questions about adding these questions with images? Have we pretty much already done that? We good? Okay.
Hey,
Gary?
could you add a picture or video one more time?
Yeah,
Can
of
I see
course.
that again? Can I see that again? I don't want to slow down anybody, but I like to see that again, please.
I was
You
just
are
gonna ask
fine.
that, so I'm glad you did.
Aw, okay. All right. See, this is why we're here. Thank you for speaking up. Okay. So in my edit mode on the form, I want to select the question that I'm in, and it's going to give me this right navigation toolbar. And at that point, do you see that little play button? That's the icon that you want to select to add a video. When I click on that, it's going to open up a pop-up box where I can video search, all right? Or I can actually copy paste the URL if I have the URL. In this case, I didn't, so I just typed in why teachers are awesome. Clicked enter, and it went ahead and pulled up some videos for me to choose from. I double clicked on the one that I wanted. I can also title the video at this point if I need to add more, information for my audience. And then it's ready to go. To view that, to see how it looks for the end user, I go back up to the preview eyeball icon at the top, and it opens up a new tab. And this is what your end user will see. And there's my video that they play that's been embedded into that question.
So then we don't even need to use a hyperlink as long as it's, in the right format.
In the
If I
right
can
format,
just
yes.
enter it that way, then I don't need to enter it by hyperlink.
Right. Is there's a video or just a form though?
I've needed to enter a couple different things through hyperlink, like
Okay.
surveys and, but if I can do it that way and just upload it, then I don't even need to copy a hyperlink over.
Okay. Hannah, I say play with it. And if you run into any issues, just call me and we can Zoom. We can figure it out. Oh, sorry, Dolores. Dolores had to leave. No problem. Okay. So I'm going to go back to our form that we're playing with. Let me get rid of these extra preview modes because they're bothering me. And you kind of want to just know everything, whatever you're thinking it can possibly do. And like Hannah was saying, add-ons are really effective if it's not already in the kind of basic toolbar that Google provides. So, and the way that you find your add-ons is this little puzzle piece at the top. And you can always search, and 9 times out of 10, some other person has thought about it and it's out there, and you can add those features to your form. So that is an option for you as well, if it's not included in this kind of navigation toolbar that they provide. All right. So the third thing, it's already 12:33. Third thing I want to quickly show you, because I'm sorry I ran over you guys. And if you need to go, I totally understand. So the third thing I wanted to show you was just real quickly, was how to look at individual versus summary responses. So let's take a look at that. So if you notice, these, this, these three areas to choose from. Questions. Right now we're in the question in our edit mode. You also have responses. Responses is where you want to go to, that's where all your data is going to populate. And if you look at this little green icon, which is the spreadsheet icon in Google, that's what's going to create your spreadsheet to house your data. Okay. What I'm going to need to do though is I need responses before I can even show you anything. So I'm going to fill that out really quickly. Let me go to view form. If y'all are in there, go ahead, see if you can populate the form so we can get a little bit of data in here for us to play with. I'm sorry, I should have done that before. Wasn't thinking. I'm going to do tacos, option 1. That's the only option I have. And I'm just going to chat something in there and say submit. All right. Let's see. Okay, so now in my responses, oh, thank you. I have two to look at. So when you're in Google, if you notice, you can kind of view them in different types of, it breaks down the data in different ways. This is the summary view. You also have by question, okay? I can view my questions by response 1 or 2. And April Lindsay, thank you so much, April Lindsay, for responding. So we have something to look at. All right, or I can select a question and then it's going to provide you with your answers that way, breaking it down by question. And then you can also search by individual. Now this came in handy for us. April, if you remember, we're working on that huge SED spreadsheet, which is kind of a mess. And I don't know how the back end got a little wonky on the spreadsheet side, and it's a huge form. But the data, it was still collecting correctly, but the data had then lost its positioning in the spreadsheet. So what we did was we went back to each individual response and we were able to pull up that information and make sure that it was tying correctly. So individual view versus summary view can come in handy. I'm loading the second one, which was mine. And then if I keep airing over, Hannah, thank you, Hannah, for filling that out. I can then view Hannah's answers and information that way. Now to view the spreadsheet, again, I click on that icon. In this case, I want to create a new spreadsheet, or I can select an existing spreadsheet to choose from as well. So if I already have a spreadsheet that I'm working on that I need this data to go to, that I'm collecting for my survey or quiz, I can have it go to that spreadsheet as well. So it just adds multiple tabs within that spreadsheet. But in this case, I want to just create a new one, keep it simple. I've got to move that and then click create. It's going to open up a new tab. And then now I can see all of the data that we've been collecting through the form on a spreadsheet, which I can now manipulate if I need to, or add any formulas. So you really want to think about how you structure your form in Google Forms on how, what, in almost a spreadsheet like end product, because that's where you're going to collect your data and it's going to populate. So I always kind of keep that in the back of my head as I'm moving through it. All right, you guys, I know it is 12:38. Thank you so much for joining today. Do you have any questions? We all chose tacos. Right. Do you have any questions about the little information that you've been provided today. If you do, please chat them in, unmute, ask me, and I'll be right with you. And you can always email me, April.frost. Yes. Who is that? I'm sorry, you kind of cut out. Oops. Gary, you doing okay?
Yeah, I was just gonna say thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for staying patient and hanging in there with me. Bye, Hannah. Thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and stop share, if that's okay. Daniel, thanks for coming.
It's always my pleasure to be here.
And it
Yes,
reminded me to do a plug-in, so I appreciate that.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Yeah. And also I'm still doing some research for our future collaborative trainings as well. So I'm getting hyped for that one, especially my VR one.
You know what? I have no doubt. I wasn't even worried about it. Christine was like, what do you want us to do? I was like, the sky's the limit, really. So I know that you guys are going to collaborate together and do an awesome thing. So I'm super stoked about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So am I. I'm actually excited. I have pre-ordered some stands for the capture bases for the mocap. So I could
Yeah.
like make it more portable because I kind of have like my personal VR set like drilled in my house, in my walls.
Oh yeah.
So for the portable ones, all I got to do is just bring extension cords and a couple of tripods, and then I can set up like a nice play area in here in the REC training room, and then practice. Because like I said, I want to do a partial live demo with it because you have spectator mode.
Yeah.
And spectator mode, you could see what is seen inside of the goggles. So like I could project that for like a 15, maybe even 20 minutes of like a live demo, and then if the separate apps spin up in time, we can like jump between like, let's say like Google Earth, you could do like a VR
Oh,
Google
nice.
Earth, do like a field trip, as well as like a roller coaster and some other stuff. Yeah.
Perfect, Daniel. That's
Mhm.
perfect. I think that that's great. You know what? That would be fun to do at an actual conference. So
Mhm.
teachers could learn how to engage with VR, man.
Mhm.
Anyways, I'm just getting all sorts of ideas. I can't wait for your presentation. I really can't.
I'm excited.
So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited too. Well, thank you for all the time that you're putting into it. I'm excited about it.
Of course, my pleasure. And again, as always, if you need any assistance with anything, we're always going to be here.
I appreciate it. Thank you